does, and that's warm water. Keeps the divers loose, keeps their muscles warm, keeps them relaxed.
Sergey Gurylev of the Soviet Union, currently in 7th place after the first 4.
Forward 3.5 somersaults pike. Whoa! Oh, I love to see these entries like this. The entries really are the last things the judges see, and it's so important to do a good entry. He was a little bit short of vertical, but he didn't throw hardly any water at all. When he starts the somersault here, he's in a nice tight pike. He comes around and looks at the water, has plenty of time to line up, just creams it.
What are they judging besides the entry?
They're judging the height from the tower, how high the jump is. They're judging the execution with strength, grace.
And he shakes his head no. He knows he could have done better.
See, he looks cold, too.
Dan Watson from Ashland, Kentucky, a graduate of Harvard University.
In biology, he's going to be going to med school this fall. Dan's doing the same dive, an arm stand cut through, reverse somersault. And it's actually a real nice place to be, following someone who's just done the same dive, because if you do it better, oh, get up. The judges have no
He's having trouble getting to his arm stand. Will the judges take off for that?
No, as long as he holds it for 3 seconds. You have to hold your arm stand for 3 seconds.
And he did. He came out of that beautifully.
Oh, man, that's great because he had such a hard time getting up in the arm stand. He looked like he was going to come back down. Once you start to press up into the arm stand, if your toes come back down and touch the tower, it's declared a balk. Cuts through, nice tight tuck, looks at the water right there, lines up, straight in, just poof. That's the way you want to do it.
Most of these divers practice outdoors. Trying to do those arm stands in the wind must be very difficult.
It is very difficult. It's also pretty scary stuff.
Doing an arm stand anywhere is tough, but doing it on a 10-meter plateau, Sarah Dupsa, that's quite a surprise, that dive we just saw.
That's a lack of concentration.
His teammate Sergey Gurylev has a chance now to move into first place, doing an arm stand into a double somersault.
The Soviet team has a beautiful style doing arm stands. They press up, and it looks so effortless. Look at the line he's in right now, how perfectly straight that is. That's one reason it's easy to get a rip entry. Woo! See? You
Very
start
nice.
off in a straight line like that on the tower. If you end up like that on the bottom, you're going to get great scores. That was really a nice dive.
Sergey Gurylev of the Soviet Union with an excellent dive here in the 8th round.
And he brings his feet back to his hands, kips around, looks at the water right there as he lets go, lines up, just whoosh, nothing. That's great. Putting the pressure on the American team, that's for sure.
7.5 to 8. Dan Watson of the United States in 3rd place, doing a reverse 2.5 in the tuck position.
This is a clutch dive for Dan right now. I asked Dan if he was having a good time here. He said, yeah, but I've got to get on to something a little better than Pepsi, ice cream, and hard rolls. He said the first thing he's going to do in the Frankfurt airport is hit McDonald's, and he's going to eat a pizza as soon as he hits the U.S. ground. Woo! Nice dive. It was a little bit past vertical, but that was a good dive for Dan.
Very consistent diver.
He doesn't like it much. That's really a nice bread and see. That's really a bread and butter dive for him. He can get 9s and 10s on that when he's really hot.
That concludes our 8th round. The leader now is Sergey Gurylev of the Soviet Union. Gao Feng from China is in 2nd place. Dan Watson of the United States is in 3rd. Kent Ferguson is in 6th. Leading off.
I think throughout the competition, his teammate, Gennady, has pushed him. It's kind of nice for Sergey to follow his teammate. The pressure's on him right now. Well, he certainly rises to the occasion, I would say. Finished the in-between somersaults is a very difficult dive to do. He finished high above the water and just absolutely drilled the entry. 9.5. What a great dive. Watch how tight his tuck is in. He's finishing the dive at 5 meters right there. Let's go, lines up, boom. Can't ask for much more than that.
To the highest scores we've seen so far today for our leader, Sergey Gurylev.
It's going to put a lot of pressure on Dan. Dan was only 5 points behind Sergey going into this round. He kind of likes that. They actually hit the water that it's hard to control sometimes. It's hard to stop somersault action.
Dan Watson of the United States, just 5 points behind the leader going into this round, but as we saw earlier, A tremendous dive for Sergey Gurylev.
Dan's doing an inward 3.5 somersaults tuck, spinning towards the tower 3.5 times. Ooh, it looks to me like he almost slipped off the tower. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see it when he comes back. But he didn't have enough somersault going on that dive. He had to split his tuck and ended up short of vertical. He's not happy. He just can't see his feet. See, when he pulls his knees apart, he had to do that because he didn't have enough somersaults. It makes it easier to complete the somersaults if you split your knees. Ended up a little short of vertical.
But Dan remains very much in contention for a medal.
Contest.
That concludes the 9th round. Just one dive remaining for our competitors. The leader is Sergey Gurylev from the Soviet Union. But moving into 2nd place, Dan Watson of the United States. Gao Feng of China is in 3rd. And Kent Ferguson is in 6th. We'll be back in a few moments with a final round from the Olympic Sports Center.
Say kids because I'm 27 now.
Soviet women went 1-2 in this event. Michelle Mitchell of the United States took the bronze. Sergey Gurylev, the leader, doing a back 3.5 in a tuck position, 3.3 degree of difficulty.
I'm surprised he's doing this dive last. This is a very difficult dive to hit. Jump. Ooh, I don't know. He had a great jump. He had a good top going, but when he kicked down, he bent his knee. He ended up short of vertical and arching in, so he shouldn't get higher than 7. He shouldn't, really. When he kicks out, see him bend his legs and arch back through. Now that really opens the door for Dan. Dan is sitting in the catbird seat again.
The scores ranging from a 5.5 up to a couple of 7s and even a 7.5 from his own judge from the Soviet Union.
That's interesting that he made a mistake like that on the last dive.
Dan Watson of the United States. His final dive is a back 1.5 with 3.5 twists. The degree of difficulty is 3.2. He is chasing the leader, Sergey Gurylev.
He's really in a good position right now to go charging right past Gurylev. Concentration. He knows where he's at. Nice jump. Oh! That was a very nice dive. It was a little bit slow. He didn't complete his somersault real high from the water, but he did a great job getting it down. Real nice entry. Swings out, arms across the chest to start the twist, out to the side to stop it. Looks at the water right there, grabs his hands, lines up for a typical Dan Watson rip.
And that should be good enough for a medal for Dan Watson.
Some color, anywho. I'm sorry, preventative type thing.
And that concludes our competition. The gold medal goes to Sergey Gurylev of the Soviet Union. Dan Watson of the United States wins the silver. The bronze medal goes to Gao Feng from China. But Dan Watson of the United States, the silver medalist, and he is talking with Jennifer Chandler.
Dan, you had 27 points to make up going into the last round. What was going through your mind?
Well, the Russian was going first, and it was all pretty much on his shoulders. He had a more difficult dive than I had, and I had my best dive last, and I knew I could make it up if he missed, but I guess it came down, I needed 92 points on my last dive, which was pretty much straight 10s. So I had a shot, but...
Do you think the Soviets have had a home court advantage?
I don't know necessarily home court advantage. They dove 5 people in the event, and even though 3 of them were exhibition, I think that helped a lot, and they did have a little crowd support, but I think it was overall pretty fair.
What are your overall impressions of the Goodwill Games? Have you had a good time?
Yeah, I think it's been great. Met a lot of people, had a lot of fun, seen a lot, and got a lot of diving experience, and it was fun.
What's the first thing you're going to do when you get home?
Eat some pizza.
All right. All right. Good luck to you and congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, Jenny.
Silver medalist Dan Watson of the United States. Whether you communicate in English, Russian, or sign language, there are traits that are universal everywhere. And we close our diving competition with a message of goodwill, a thank you from the American team.
Спасибо, Москва!